Just last month, the world, and specifically Central Illinois, was introduced to a brand new store.
It's a music shop that mostly focuses on guitars, and it's called the Upper Bout.
That's right. Do you guys have any idea what the Upper Bout is?
Something on a guitar?
Matt, you're smart.
The upper part of the round part on the bottom?
Oh my gosh, I didn't think you'd guess that, but that
is right?
That actually is, yeah. And I expected guitar players to know that, but not you. And guitar players know what that Upper Bout is, and local guitar players are learning about the Upper Bout, the store.
And this is a very famous guitar. So you ask me what makes me salivate, it's this guitar. It's this exact guitar. Guitars and music have been a part of my life since I was about 13. My father bought me a guitar at Sears and Roebuck in Terre Haute, Indiana, and it was terrible. I was always kind of drawn to the aesthetic appeal of rock and roll and the way a guitar looked, you know, its curves and kind of what it represented in the culture, absolutely. I mean, I was listening to music at a very young age and enjoying it. I used to sit in my room for hours and listen to Prince albums and Bon Jovi albums and thinking, how do these people do this? Initially, you know, I wasn't all that interested in playing. I was more interested in how the magnetic pickups work, you know, and why the string length is the way it is, and what all the little components are, and you know, why did tuning machines sit in a certain position, and what's the output jack, and how does this work? What happens when I pull this wire off? You know, what happens when I reconnect it? Just sort of the nuts and bolts, the mechanics of the instrument. The Upper Bout's been dancing around in my mind for a couple of years now. Not by name, but certainly by idea. So originally we wanted to call it the F-hole, which is probably not a good name for a shop. The Upper Bout is the upper portion of an acoustic guitar, or an electric guitar, or a violin for that matter. When you look at a guitar, there's a waistline, and the larger portion at the bottom is called the lower bout. The smaller above the waistline portion at the top is called the upper bout. Fancy guitars. We're focusing on mid-range to high-end with a smattering of entry-level instruments for our students. But we're trying to capture a little bit of the mid-range to high-end market. It's time to start purchasing American goods again. So we would like to focus on some of the American companies, like Gibson and Fender. And Breedlove is a brand that we'll be carrying. The Gibson brand is kind of the upper echelon of guitars. Gibson's a pretty modern company. This is their 120th anniversary, but with that being said, they're constantly pushing the envelope here. This instrument comes with electronic tuners. So that kind of minimizes that, hey, I'm out of tune, how do I tune this thing up? You don't have to worry about that so much anymore. This is Hector Trubino's guitar. These are custom built in Urbana, Illinois. They're beautiful instruments. They're all hand built. This is called the Sonic Wind. And Hector's a great guy. He's been doing this for a long time. He's very well versed in the art of repairing and constructing instruments. The first step in being a musician is acquiring a solid teacher, somebody that can guide you through all of the mess that is learning, because it's not easy. So we want that to be the first thing you see when you come into this store.
The aesthetic of you know, coming in and seeing the teachers right away is a really nice thing. These are obviously, you know, teaching studios, and they're obviously not like, you know, also closets.
When we designed this space, we designed it specifically in the main entrance. As soon as you walk in, you see tall glass doors. And when teaching is going on, you see a student and a teacher interacting.
It wound up being one of the most like beneficial things that I've ever done, is actually just taking, you know, lessons at a local guitar store, learning from a local, you know, teacher. You just get that connection, you get that direction, you know, you get the sense that you get somebody to encourage you that you're doing it right, and that feels really good. Watching
a young 12-year-old kid come in and his mom's, you know, okay, we can take lessons, and she promotes the purchase and then engages and signs him up for lessons, and a year later he's sitting waiting for his lesson in front of an amplifier just playing amazing blues scales, and you see this smile on his face, and that's pretty extraordinary to me. I want to help make this a great community where people can go out to fantastic restaurants and wonderful music stores and go out and see gigs all over the place, or go to the Cranert, and you know, the more shops like this, the better the community.
Man, that place is
So cool.
beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful to look at. So, you know, I mean, even if you're not into guitar, it's almost like a gallery where you're like, oh, that's maybe...
There were some interesting designs
Wish
for
list.
guitars
Yeah,
in there, too.
right, very cool. And yeah,
Driving by it at night is gorgeous.
and if you don't know how, yeah, the lessons are there for you to learn, because you said you have a little guitar.
You have a little guitar. Maybe I'll go up there and check it out.
Yeah.
They'll get you tuned up.
In more ways than one,
Oh,
maybe.
well.
I'm just kidding. Time now to announce today's CI Giving winner for a pair of tickets to the Jersey Boys.
It's a prize valued at $134.